Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mr. Sean Herndon, Operations Specialist with DPTMS and MC for today's Change of Command ceremony. On behalf of the reviewing officer for today's ceremony, Mr. Vincent Grewat, Commander Installation Command Division Training, welcome to the United States Army Garrison West Point Change of Command ceremony. Today, Colonel Evangeline G. Rosel will relinquish command of the Garrison to Colonel Anthony J. Bianchi. The biographies of these great leaders can be found in your program. At your leisure, please take a moment to read about the extraordinary contributions and achievements each have made throughout their esteemed career. The Change of Command ceremony is a traditional event that is rich with symbolism and heritage. Since ancient times, armies have conducted ceremonies to commemorate victories over enemies, to honor comrades in arms, and to celebrate special occasions such as we are doing today. These ceremonies have not only added color and pageantry to military life, but have preserved tradition and enhanced esprit de corps. The Continental Army established the foundation on which our present-day ceremonies are based. What you will see today is a reflection of procedures developed by Baron von Steuben at Valley Forge in 1778. The commander of troops for today's ceremony is Command Sergeant Major Rusty A. Lane, Command Sergeant Major, U.S. Army Garrison, West Point. Standing proudly before you are a small number of soldiers and Department of Army civilians assigned to the Garrison West Point team, along with some of their equipment representing over 1,040 civilians and 103 soldiers who comprise the mighty West Point Garrison organization that services all of West Point. From left to right, they are the Military Police Company, the Department of Public Works, Roads and Grounds, the Cannoneer, the Garrison Honor Guard led by CSM Lane, and the West Point Fire Department. Please join me in a round of applause for all these men and women of our Garrison team. We would like to recognize our special guests in attendance for today's ceremony. Please hold all applause until the end. The 61st Superintendent of the United States Military Academy, Lieutenant General Stephen W. Gilland and his wife Betsy. The Command Sergeant Major of the United States Military Academy, Command Sergeant Major Michael Coffey. The 79th Commandant of Cadets, Brigadier General Mark C. Quander and his wife Melanie. The Command Sergeant Major of the United States Corps Cadets, Command Sergeant Major Robert Craven. The MCOM Directorate Training Command Sergeant Major CSM Kevin King. Supervisor Bob Livesey from the town of Highlands, Orange County Executive Steve Newhouse, Colonel Rosel's husband, Major Jamal McClone, her son Jamal Jr., her daughters Michaela and Gabriella, and her mother, Tomasa, Colonel Bianchi's wife, Julie, and daughters Alexia, Alyssa, and Elena, his father, Angelo, and brother, Chris. Please join me in a round of applause for all of our special guests. The Garrison Soldier of the Year, Specialist Dylan Bocash, will now present gifts to Colonel Rosel's mother, Tomasa, husband, Major McClone, son Jamal Jr., and daughters Michaela and Gabriella, thanking them for their untiring support to the Garrison. Please join me in a round of applause for the Rosel and McClone family. Sergeant Ariel Reed, Military Police Investigations, will now present a bouquet of yellow roses to Mrs. Julie Bianchi, welcoming her to the Garrison family. This token of friendship from the Garrison warmly welcomes Mrs. Bianchi to the team. Sergeant Reed is also presenting a single red rose to Colonel Bianchi's daughters, Alexia, Alyssa, and Elena. The roses signify the dawning of their relationship with the soldiers, cadets, civilians, and families, thus establishing a relationship that will blossom and grow in the years ahead. Please join me in a round of applause for the Bianchi family. Please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the invocation given by Chaplain Williamson. The official party consists of Colonel Evangeline G. Rosel, outgoing commander of the U.S. Army Garrison West Point. The reviewing officer, Mr. Vincent E. Grewatts, Commander, Installation Command Division Training. And Colonel Anthony J. Bianchi, the incoming commander of U.S. Army Garrison West Point.
My friends, on this special day, I invite you to pray with me as you feel comfortable. Almighty God, as our invocation today welcomes one commander and our benediction farewells another, we are reminded that even though leadership changes, our mission doesn't. And so I pray this afternoon, first and foremost, for the men and women of the United States Army Garrison West Point. Unite us as one in a spirit of service and camaraderie. Sustain us in our good work. Encourage us and grant us safety in every challenge. Give us strength for our labors and wisdom equal to every task. As we begin this ceremony today, we start with prayers for Colonel Tony Bianchi and his family as he assumes command of this great organization. Endow him with every grace and leadership that he will need. Watch over him and his loved ones through all the times of trial. Grant him and those he leads success in every good endeavor, so that their many missions might be accomplished and every member of the team might find satisfaction in the important work they are doing on behalf of their nation and their neighbors. Give grace to this servant leader as he reminds us all to do nothing out of selfish ambition, but in humility count others more important than ourselves. Remind him daily of his calling, protect him with your spirit, and walk beside him and his family every step of the way. All this we ask in your holy name. Amen.
Please be seated. The United States Army Garrison West Point is the oldest active garrison in the United States Army. First established in 1778 as a Revolutionary War fortress, it became home to the United States Military Academy, which was founded in 1802. Since then, it has been the bedrock of leader and character development for the Army and nation, and has grown to be a national historic landmark. Throughout American history, our nation's colors have been a rallying point for the American soldier. The Stars and Stripes have been the banner under which Americans have lived, fought, and died. More than a symbol, the flag is the embodiment of our liberty and of our freedom. The commander of troops will now direct the colors to march to the center of the formation to present to the command. The reviewing party and commander of troops will now conduct an inspection by trooping the line. In days past, trooping the line enabled the commander to physically observe and evaluate his or her soldiers and equipment to judge for themselves the capability to successfully engage in battle. This tradition dates back to King Louis XIV of France. Every garrison in the Army is different. The United States Army Garrison West Point is uniquely tailored to the U.S. Military Academy mission. The organizations on the field today are a small representation of the various directorates that belong to the garrison. They are U.S. Military Academy Military Police Company, Director of Emergency Services, including the Provost Marshal, Department of the Army Security Guards, and West Point Fire Department. Director of Public Works, including the Army Housing Office. Director of Plans, Training, Mobilization, and Security. Directorate of Human Resources. Military Personnel Division. Garrison Public Affairs Office. Resource Management Office. Information Management Office. Fiscal Security. Plans Analysis and Integrations Office. Morale, Welfare, and Recreation, Army Community Service, Finance, Religious Support Office, Garrison Safety Office, Garrison SARC, Garrison EO, Transition Assistance Program. Also, honorable mention to our partners that support U.S. Army Garrison West Point, Criminal Investigations Division, Army and Air Force Exchange Service, Defense Commissary Agency, Mission and Installation Contracting Command, Visual Information Ordering Site, 2nd Aviation, Internal Review and Audit Compliance Office, Logistics Readiness Center, including transportation, Civilian Personnel Advisory Center, Inspector General's Office, Judge Advocate General's Office, Keller Army Community Hospital, the Thayer Hotel, Balfour Beatty Community Homes, Dental Clinic, Veterinary Clinic, Network Enterprise Center, and Dodia and O'Neill High School. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the singing of the national anthem, sung by Staff Sergeant Francisco Asporna of the West Point Band.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. The change of command ceremony is a traditional event that runs deep in symbolism and heritage. Key to the ceremony is the passing of the Garrison colors. These colors represent not only the lineage and honors of the Garrison Command, but also the loyalty and unity of its soldiers and civilians. The Garrison colors are the commander's symbol of authority, representing the commander's responsibilities to the organization. Wherever the Garrison commander is, so too are the Garrison colors. The colors represent the heritage and history of the Garrison, but also stand for the unity and loyalty of its soldiers and civilians. The custodian of the colors is the Garrison Command Sergeant Major. As the senior enlisted soldier within the Garrison, he is the natural spokesman for the loyalty and commitment of the soldiers and is the principal advisor to the commander on all affairs concerning them. Command Sergeant Major Lane passes the colors to Colonel Rosel as his last act of deference to the outgoing commander. Colonel Rosel passes the colors to Mr. Grewatts, officially relieving her of the responsibilities of command. Mr. Grewatts passes the colors to Colonel Bianchi, officially charging him with responsibilities of the garrison. By authority of paragraph 2-5, Army Regulation 600-20, the undersigned assumes command of the United States Army Garrison West Point, effective 15 July 2020, signed Anthony J. Bianchi, Colonel, Field Artillery, commanding. Colonel Bianchi passes the colors to Command Sergeant Major Lane, entrusting him with their care and reaffirming his confidence in the non-commissioned officer corps. The changing of positions of the incoming and outgoing commander indicates that Colonel Bianchi has officially assumed command of the United States Army Garrison West Point. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the commander of Installation Command Division Training, Mr. Vincent Grewatts.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. What a gorgeous day it is today. Thanks for being with us. General and Mrs. Gillen, Command Sergeant Major Coffey, General and Mrs. Quander, Command Sergeant Major Craven, General Dahl, Mrs. Jeffries, Perdot, community leaders, distinguished guests, members of the Rosel and Bianchi Nations, Polar Bear Empire, soldiers, civilians, friends of the U.S. Army Garrison West Point. Good afternoon. And welcome. As the director for IMCOM's Army Training Garrisons, it's my absolute honor and privilege to serve as your host today for today's ceremony. And I'm absolutely delighted to be with you in person this time for today's change of command. So changes of command are a time-honored tradition, 247 years old, that remind us of the importance of service. But they're as much about continuity as they are about change. Installation Management Command, for any of you who are familiar with it, is not for the faint of heart. It can be unpredictable. It can test our mettle. It is, in fact, a team effort. Nowhere is this more evident than here at West Point. And so I'd like to begin by extending my thanks to General Gilland and his entire team here at the Military Academy for their support over the last couple of years, to the Garrison command team and the entire community. Sir, congratulations for your promotion and assumption as the 61st superintendent of the Academy. It's great to be with you today, and I look forward to partnering with you over the next couple of years. For the past 2 years, Evangeline and the Garrison team have enjoyed tremendous support from the entire USMA team, support that's enabled us to facilitate your educate, train, and inspire mission, as well as building readiness and taking care of the community through what I think I can fairly describe as an unprecedented period of change and challenge. Thank you for putting people first here at West Point and for all that you do for our soldiers, our families, our cadets, civilians, retirees, I'm absolutely honored to work with you as we set high standards for quality of life and readiness here at the installation by developing leaders of character and family resilience at West Point. Of course, supporting our soldiers and family increasingly depends on the heartfelt contributions of our neighboring communities as well. And so your partnerships with the installation exemplify a nation's appreciation for those who serve. Your presence today honors Colonel Rosel and Command Sergeant Major Lane, as well as the incoming command team. So thank you for being here. And finally, to the Garrison team, you guys knock it out of the park. You're absolutely awesome. You make it happen every day. I'm so proud of your commitment and dedication and the sacrifices that you make to enable training, support, protection, take care of our families, our children, our soldiers, and for partnering with our stakeholders on and off the installations. Your accomplishments, the ones that I'm sure Bianchi is going to remind you of here in a moment, testify to your hard work and your dedication, the sacrifices that you make to deliver extraordinary services here. So thank you for honoring these two commanders with your presence as well. You know, ceremonies like this are bittersweet if traditional, as we pass the responsibilities and authorities from one command team to another. And we bid farewell today to Colonel Bianchi, Rosel, and Jamel and their family who have led the garrison with resolve, commitment, and compassion over the last 2 years. We also welcome Colonel Tony Bianchi and Julia and their 3 daughters who have already been stalwarts in this community to the garrison team. Ladies and gentlemen, the Installation Management Command's mission is to integrate and deliver base support from the strategic support area to enable readiness of a globally responsive Army. We proudly declare that we are the Army's home, and we're dedicated to serving the Army professionals who defend our nation at home and abroad every day. The centerpiece, the center of gravity of Installation Management Command is, in fact, the garrison, and the individuals who lead this organization are essential to its success. You know, the Army doesn't train its leaders to be garrison commanders, but it does develop leaders who are capable, innovative, motivated to handle the challenges and demands of this type of command. Colonel Bianchi Rosel is precisely this kind of leader, and it showed. She assumed command under what rather unusual circumstances a couple of years ago, and she was part of the vaunted COVID commander cohort who took command with little fanfare and probably few attendees, all wearing masks, a couple of years ago. So with that in mind, I'm absolutely delighted to be with you in person, be able to restore the tradition here for the change of command of the garrison. So, of course, every successful garrison commander is supported by a command sergeant major and a deputy who translate and execute the commander's direction and operationalize. In this regard, Bianchi was blessed to have worked with our very best. Command Sergeant Major Rusty Lane, Mark Gressler, and Eric Mitchell currently have been truly exceptional. They made a difference and they postured the garrison for success today and well into the future, delivering services to standard with efficiency and responsiveness, adapting to the challenges that the installation and the community face, and integrating services in support of the U.S. Military Academy. Now, Colonel Rosel drove positive change during her command, undeterred by the forces that threaten mission success, the health of the force, community resilience, and progress across a whole host of initiatives as she demonstrated unwavering support to our Army, our command, the Academy, and this community of soldiers, families, civilians, cadets, and retirees who work, train, play, and pray at West Point. With our medical professionals, she led the installation's response to COVID. She operationalized IMCOM's reorganization under Army Materiel Command. She helped to forge reforms in our privatized housing program to deliver on our pledge to provide safe, quality housing for those who live here. She materially improved quality of life and readiness in the face of constrained resources, restricted hiring, supply chain friction, a worldwide pandemic, resurgent international threats, and wide-ranging social issues that threaten our national security. Of course, I don't have to tell you that West Point's a special place. Its 16,000 acres are home to the Academy and the prep school as the world's premier leader development institution. So consider, in light of this, a few of the accomplishments that Bianchi and her 1,300-strong garrison achieved over the last couple of years. You know, our Army Chief of Staff reminds us that winning matters, and Bianchi took this to heart. The installation hosted more than 2,500 events annually, including 500 NCAA sporting events. I think that's unique amongst Army installations. Provided honorable services for over 100 funerals, supported multiple head of state visits, hosted state and federal congressional delegations, senior level conferences, and other symposia. She supported the Air Force Army football game during COVID as West Point, and then as West Point hosted the Army Navy game for the first time in over 40 years. And I think Army won both of those games. She continued the $617 million cadet barracks upgrade program, initiated the academic building upgrade program, expanded the cemetery, broke ground on the SEAC, the Cyber Engineering Academic Center, and a whole host of other investments here at West Point. She saved more than $5 million by partnering with off-post installations for construction and emergency services. And she improved the efficiency of our non-appropriated fund activities here at West Point. Now, all this is impressive, certainly. And indeed, integrating and synchronizing installation services is complex, challenging work. But Bianchi made it look easy. Her greatest legacy, however, is not the external well-deserved recognition or work on infrastructure investment efforts or IGSAs or even the pandemic response. No, her greatest legacy are the people and partnerships, the relationships that she and her command team have built and bequeathed to Tony Bianchi, because our priority, after all, is our people. So leadership like this deserves our respect and our applause. So please join me in a round of applause for Colonel Evangeline Rosel for the Bianchi, well done. You and Jamel and Michaela and Gabriel have truly made a difference here at West Point. You'll be sorely missed, but you'll always be part of our family. So thank you for what you've done. Now, we're fortunate that as we say goodbye to one great command team, we welcome another. And today we welcome Colonel Tony Bianchi, his wife, Julie, Alexia, Alyssa, and Elena. Interesting, naming conventions, but I guess it makes it easier for you to remember. Colonel Bianchi brings extensive engineering, field artillery, and athletics management experience to this new position. He's no stranger to West Point. He's already been here for a while, but let me be clear. In fact, his most recent job is as the director of the Army Athletic Association. Now, Tony, all of that is brilliant, but nothing you've ever done is going to truly prepare you for the job about which you're about to undertake. So hold fast to the tactical, operational, and strategic skills that you've honed over a long career of accomplished achievement, because one day they'll be important again. But today, welcome to IMCOM. You've distinguished yourself, obviously, by your integrity, your organizational management skills, your flexibility and creativity, but most importantly, your caring and compassionate leadership for our soldiers and our families. All of those things are branching material, but they're absolutely essential to your success here at West Point. So please accept my personal welcome to West Point, to the Garrison team, IMCOM Training and Installation Management Command. Everybody, thank you all once again for attending the ceremony today, and your presence truly honors these two great command teams, the great Americans and their families. Thank you for your time and your support to our Army soldiers and civilians and their families. May God bless you, West Point, our Army, and may God bless America. Support and defend.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the former commander of the United States Army Garrison West Point, Colonel Evangeline G. Rosel.
I'm gonna send the blood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me.
All right. So Sergeant Major Lane totally did not want me to do that. But since we played some music, I'd like the color guard and our MP soldiers out there maybe shake it out for a little bit. You don't have to dance, but maybe relax just a little, and then you can come back to attention. Good afternoon, Lieutenant General and Mrs. Gillen, Lieutenant General Retired and Mrs. Dahl, Mr. Grewatts, Breeder and Mrs. Breeder General and Mrs. Quander, Command Sergeant Major Coffey, Command Sergeant Major King, Command Sergeant Major Craven, distinguished guests, leaders, and partners from the community. The USMA class of 97, staff and faculty, family and friends, and of course, the West Point Garrison team. Thanks for being here on this beautiful afternoon. Thanks first and always to God for his continuous blessings, and thanks Francisco for that awesome rendition of our national anthem. Salamat. I know our 60th Superintendent General Williams is busy leading our efforts in U.S. Army Europe Africa, but my remarks would not be complete without thanking him for his remarkable and authentic leadership during one of the most challenging times in our Army's history. Sir, if you're watching out there, thank you for your sincere coaching, teaching, and mentorship, and for truly investing in me and the entire Garrison team. As I stand here on Buffalo Soldier Field, I can't think of a better place for me to say thank you. Keep making history, sir. To Team Gilland, welcome back, sir and ma'am, and thanks for your support over the past few weeks as I finish out the best job I've ever had, and as you guys start your chapter as a 61st Soup, breaking into the 90s with not one, but two West Point grads in quarters 100. We'll get Team Gillen there soon, sir. You can blame Tony for that. Sir, right out of the gate, you've displayed a focus on the community that is exactly what the Garrison needs. To Mr. Grewatts, it's been an honor working for you. Thanks for your sincere trust and for your support. Like I said yesterday in a smaller forum, you know and understand our business like no other leader at IMCOM, and we appreciate your compassion and your commitment to optimizing services for all of our stakeholders. To the COM, Dean, Mr. Buddy, and Dr. Peterson, I know a couple of you are on leave, but thanks to you for all of your support to the Garrison. To Command Sergeant Major Coffey and Command Sergeant Major Craven, thanks for keeping me straight, along with all the other officers here. Trust me, I know that's not a small feat. And special thanks to all of those responsible for making this ceremony happen. The Garrison is like the most squared away group of NCOs in any formation. We are the backbone of the installation. The reason I wanted to ride in the Jeep earlier so everyone could see all the behind the scenes classmates or teammates who make it easy for us to show up and support our mission, to commission 21st century leaders of character after a challenging 47-month experience. Like many, I'm sure, as a cadet back in the 90s, or even as a major here in 2008, I didn't even begin to understand the true beast that is the West Point Garrison. So thanks to the planners and all of our teammates on the field for making not only today happen, but every day over the past 2 years. If you know me, you know that, like the song I played, I often march to my own beat. So I'm going to finish off with a poem just like how I started. So way back when, in the year 1993, I came through Thayer Gate not knowing what would be. 4 years later, including 2 summers of STAP, I left thinking my next 5 years would be only in just that. But fast forward 25 years later to today here on this field, I'm all in my feels and I'm proud of my AG shield. I was here as a cadet and then as a major in 08. I never once realized that this would be my fate. I never understood all the things behind the scenes, the backbone of the USMA mission, West Point's US AG. The vehicles on the field are just a small part of our team. Our biggest asset is our people, what you do and what that means. Protecting and keeping us safe, our emergency services on call, MPs, guards, firefighters, soldiers, and civilians who do it all. Thanks, MPs, our Knights of Justice, to Brian Heverly and your crew for the countless missions you all have done. Know that I appreciate you. Visits from the POTUS, SecDef, SecArmy, CSA, and so many VIPs. You take on every mission with such grace and with such ease. Alongside is Charlie Petty leading DPTMS. If you're wondering who gave me my first reg board, Charlie Petty would be a good guess. I told him I should thank him for setting me straight back in the day. So much time to think about my choices with 40 hours and restriction for 40 days. Thanks, Charlie. For our toughest directorate, Public Works in every space, Aaron Close, you were the right leader at the right time and the right place. To Rich Gash, who we had on loan from USMA, thanks for joining the team for that time with DPW saving the day. Then there is MWR with Anne-Marie leading the way. She is all about the community and about her team every day. With CYS under her purview, the challenges never cease. Our workers love the kids and we try best to keep the peace. To Pete Bianchi and the RM team, managing the books with such detail. Thanks for balancing cost and risk and for keeping me out of jail. To Serena, thanks for taking on the critical task of top tier. I know with the 61st soup at the helm, we'll get those funds this year. To our Iraq team of one, safety, IMO, and PAO, being one-on-one is hard, so I depend on what you know. For DHR, I personally know how thankless your jobs can be, but I am with you every step of the way because I know it's hard to be AG. PAIO and Randy, thanks for ensuring our reports are now synced, because you know Mr. Griewatz will call us out when our narratives are not linked. To our outstanding religious support team, we have been blessed with Chaplain Don. There is nothing his team can't do, exceeding all expectations and beyond. Chaplain Don, I listen to you closely, even when you yell, and I do what you ask. I pray you'll keep me out of hell. To our partners in the community like Dodea, DECA, and AFEES, you are loyal to this community, always seeking to meet our needs. To all of our housing mayors from across this entire place, you help communicate our message and all with a friendly face. You're our liaisons with BBC and working with AHO too. We keep working on getting better and we owe all small victories to you. Thanks to Curtis and Terry, Melissa and Nick from BBC. I know housing is hard, but you all have come through for me. You all have been the best partners through COVID and back to the norm. I appreciate your mutual support and all the bonds we formed. Since I mentioned COVID, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the band. They were the heart of Team COVID, so much more than helping hands. To Mark Weathers and Brian Reed, the two chiefs I worked with here, I can't thank you both enough for getting me through each year. To the others I've leaned on, like Tina, Jeff, Brian, Greg Rance, and Jay, you've always come through when I needed you. You helped in any way. To my front office, who keeps me sane day in and day out, David, Jim, Michael, Lopez, and Bart, the best without a doubt. I have to specifically thank Rosemary, who manages every minute of my day. She's my work wife and my confidant, but probably the reason my hair's turned gray. Then there's Eric, my first hire and presumably the best. Despite being a Zoomie, I just show up and he does the rest. Eric is professional, smart, and committed to West Point's ways. Yes, he lives in Lusk with the big blue flag, and yes, that is okay. To Jill and Janella, thanks for all of your support too. You both welcomed me like family, a gesture some just never do. Now we get to Rusty, Command Sergeant Major Lane. You are the best battle buddy, the one who keeps me sane. Your care for our soldiers and civilians, something we don't always see. Your thoughtful advice and counsel is how I strive to be. To all the West Point women, like Erica, Megan, Lonnie, and my sis, on some days when I struggle, I have a network that's strong as ish. This group of women is as profound as the field we stand on today. Be the change and keep climbing while lifting up others along the way. Carolina, Yvonne, and Mego, my room dogs, they're here too. A lawyer and 2 more colonels. I'm a better me because of you. To my family and friends who've traveled from all over, from Cali to Chicago, Jersey, Paramus Catholic, and Dover. There are some from Alabama and South Carolina too, like Tony's and my TAC, Lieutenant Colonel Duffy. It's so good to see you. That's right, Tony and I are not just classmates, we're polar bears in full effect. I'm not quite sure what our TAC is thinking, but it's probably WTF. To Tony and Julie and your beautiful family of girls, I wish the best journey as this place again becomes your world. We've come a long way since I3, and 97 is here with us today. With pride, we defend as we pass the flag between us today. Now back to my family and friends who are just as dear. The FPC, Rosels, Carol's, Chins, Gamboas. I see you all here. To my PC family too, you all know who you are. Thanks for all of your support and for traveling from afar. Special thanks to the Walshes for being here today too. My second family in high school, so much love I have for you. To my godmother, momming, and the Salata clan, you two are key for my upbringing, my village, and my fam. To my parents, but especially to my mom, you are the reason I can balance my day. Your support to our family is immeasurable in every way. To LJ and my girls, I know these 2 years have been tough. Thanks for understanding, even when times were extra rough. Last but not least, to my husband, thanks for giving this place a go. I understand the sacrifice you made, how much I love you. I hope you know. I'm going to wrap up now. If I forgot anyone, don't fret. If you're here, you mean a lot to me, so many who I will never forget. These 2 years were insane, from COVID to beating Navy at home. You all are the Garrison. You all are the reason this Garrison prevailed. There's nothing I did alone. Thank you for everything, but especially to the Garrison for all that you do. Day in and day out, behind the scenes, classes commission in huge part to you. People first, winning matters, and beat Navy without a doubt. With pride we defend. Colonel Rosel signing out.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the commander of the United States Army Garrison West Point, Colonel Anthony J. Bianchi.
You're not going to get a poem out of me. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. And I didn't know we can pick our own music. You didn't tell me that, Bianchi. That wasn't part of the whole deal. But that's right. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Is everyone feeling all right? Good afternoon. Well, let's get this thing going because I'm the only thing keeping us from standing here in the hot sun. So let's do this. Lieutenant General Mrs. Gillen, Brigadier General Quander, Mrs. Quander, Lieutenant General retired, Dahl and Mrs. Dahl, Command Sergeant Major Coffey and Mrs. Coffey, Mr. Gray Watson, Command Sergeant Major King, other distinguished guests, the class of 97, and family and friends of both I and Bianchi. Thank you for being here today and taking time out of your busy day to spend time with us here in the Hudson Valley on a Rock Bottom Highland home. I first want to start off like Bianchi did and thank God for all this, because without him, this would not be possible for me. Lieutenant General Gillen, sir, I'm very humbled by this opportunity to lead the Garrison, the longest continuously occupied post in our nation's military. I view myself as your chief integrator of resources across the installation. So just think of me as your fist cord that I will achieve your desired effects. I thought you'd appreciate that, sir. We're going to achieve those effects, sir, for a community that's comprised of cadets, faculty, soldiers, DA civilians, dependents, contractors, military retirees, and all kinds of visitors to this historic place. And, sir, I acknowledge that I will now be on your speed dial, time now, and I can't wait to serve in my new role on the West Point team. Mr. Gray Watts, I appreciate the education and mentorship I was able to gain from you over our interactions over the past year. And I acknowledge doing a deliberate assessment to understand why things are the way they are before I make any changes. I'll definitely look forward to streamlining processes and becoming more efficient. And I look forward to communicating to your team early and often in terms of standards, resources, and risk. Command Sergeant Major Lane, the soldiers in formation look phenomenal. The stack displays are phenomenal. You are truly one of the best sergeant majors I've ever worked with. You've been great during the transition and truly understand the role of the Garrison. I look forward to working for you for the next couple of weeks. And I know you'll set up Command Sergeant Major Frazier for success. Thank you. Eric Mitchell, thanks for taking time over the last year to teach me the Garrison lingo. You have the knowledge and experience, and I plan to leverage you tremendously. I look forward to working with you, even though you played football for Air Force. I can't believe this is happening to me, but yeah, I'm really upset right now. Sorry. I'll just move on from that one. To the directorates, you're my subject matter experts in your areas. I look forward to learning from you, leaning on you, and achieving success by you. We are here to serve the West Point community, and we will always strive to find a way to yes. To all the local leaders and to my enterprise partners like the LRC, AFES, DECA, BBC, Dodea, Keller, and Dentec, we're all here on the same team, and I look forward to building relationships that can serve the community in the best way possible. Bianchi, I'm not sure if all these people actually came to see you out appropriately, or if they just came to see with their own two eyes that I actually made the 06 command list. But I think they're all here for you because you've done such a great job. And in all seriousness, you've done a phenomenal job over the past 2 years, and you overcame normal Garrison problem set while compounded by the COVID pandemic. Your transparency and unparalleled support from you and Jamel to Julie and I during this time of transition have been awesome. I really wish I wasn't changing out with you because you set the bar really high, and I'll do my best to maintain this great organization that you positively impacted with your caring and devoted leadership, which was on stage today. Thank you, and good luck in the building. It's about time you got there. Finally, to my family, Julie, Alexia, Alyssa, and Elena, thank you for your support throughout the years, and thank you for allowing me to follow my dream. The next 2 years are going to be busy and hectic, and I'll need that support more than ever. I love you all. All current policies and procedures remain in effect. I got to say that. Go Army and beat Navy.
Please rise for the benediction and remain standing for the singing of the West Point alma mater and the official Army song, The Army Goes Rolling Along, sung by Staff Sergeant Francisco Asporna of the West Point Band.
Well, as we close our time today, I invite you again to pray as you feel comfortable. Almighty and ever-living God, as we say goodbye to Colonel Evangeline Rosel and her wonderful family, I pray that she would know with certainty that she can echo the same words St. Paul wrote at the end of his mission. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have remained faithful. For that is truly what she has done these last 2 years. She fought battles when others weren't willing to, valued every person under her command, led with a spirit of grace and truth, ran hard from day one the race set before her, and has left this garrison better than when she started because of her faithful and steadfast leadership. I pray that you will continue to be with her, that you would bless her and her family as they move on to the next chapter of their lives. Remind them daily of this promise from your word where you say, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you and your family the future you hope for." And to all of you here as we close this ceremony, may the Spirit of God be near you to defend you, within you to refresh you, around you to preserve you, before you to guide you, behind you to justify you, and above you to bless you, both now and forevermore. And all God's people said, amen.
Hail, alma mater dear, to us be ever near. Help us thy motto bear through all the years. Let duty be well performed. Honor be e'er untarned, country be ever armed. West Point, by thee. March along, sing our song with the army of the free. Count the brave, count the true, who have fought to victory. We're the Army and proud of our name. We're the Army and proudly proclaim. First to fight for the right and to build a nation's might. And the Army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won. And the Army goes rolling along. Then it's hi, hi, hey, the Army's on its way. Count off the cadence loud and strong. For where'er we go, you will always know that the Army goes rolling along.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Lieutenant General Stephen W. Gillen, Superintendent of the United States Military Academy, and Mr. Vincent E. Grewatts, Installation Command Division Training, thank you for your attendance at today's Change of Command ceremony. Please join us in welcoming Colonel Bianchi and his family up front and at the reception located at the West Point Club at 4 p.m. Also, those wishing to offer their farewells to Colonel Rosel and her family can do so in front of the reviewing stand and also at the reception. Golf carts are available behind the reviewing area for transportation to the West Point Club. Again, thank you for attending. With pride, we defend. Go Army 4-0. Beat Navy.